So the last time we got together, I was talking a lot about taking in like a big string and breaking it up and sort of doing some basic analysis. And I do want you to kind of keep that in the back of your mind and how we use lists for that. This particular one, we're going to have a little bit of fun because I do appreciate that sometimes it's a lot easier to learn this stuff when you are at least trying to have some fun. But in order to get some fun, we're going to, for the next series, we have to talk a little bit about randomness and how we could get this thing being Python, to pick a random number. Now, honestly, it's way beyond the scope of this course to get into the details behind picking a random number. But here's what I will say: we don't actually have to know how to do this because someone in Python already kind of figured this out. And there is, as was sort of introduced before in the previous ones, we talked about stop words, and I'm sure earlier on, I think we also talked about this idea, but basically we can bring in or import a module that has got all the programs we possibly could need to bring in random numbers. And so the package, I keep saying package, that's my Oracle DNA in there, but the module for this would be random. And now at this point, my environment knows how to pick a random number. Now I just need to know how to call that random number. Now I'm going to be using a method within the random module called randint. And honestly, guys, Google is your friend. The Python documents are your friend. Stack Overflow is your friend. You can definitely get a lot of information from these places, or just talk amongst yourselves. But here I'm going to get an integer, random integer, that is basically between A and B. So I'm going to basically say X is assigned random.randint, and let's go right there. By the way, the idle thing is trying to help here. And actually, let's move this over because that was a good line. Okay, hang on. Okay, I get it. Thank you. Will you give me that again? Right. So returns random integer in a range A, B, which includes both ends. And that's kind of what they're trying to say here. It's an integer such that A is less than or equal to N, less than or equal to B. So if I wanted a random number between 1 and 5, the number is going to come out, and it's going to be between basically 1 and 5. All right, so let's go ahead and try that out. And I'm just going to say, please give me a number between 1 and 5. I'm going to hit that button. I'm going to go. I'm going to go print X. Actually, I don't have to go print X. I'm just going to go X. So X is 3. That's awesome. Great. A random number between 1 and 5. I'm going to go copy. I'm going to go paste and go X. And that's 1. Now, if I wanted to get really cool with this idea, let's get into a loop here for let's just say counter. Remember that variable gets automatically declared is in the range. I'm going to go something that would look good on the screen. Let's say 20 colon, and I'm going to basically I'm going to skip the variable part and just go print a random number between 1 and 5 20 times. There you go. So we're seeing some 1s, we're seeing some 5s, we're not seeing any 6s or any 0s. So that's more or less right there, a pretty good random number. Now, we could, and maybe it would be a good thing for us to do with dictionaries when I finally get to them, but we could kind of do some of our own analysis and see exactly how random that is. But I'd like to imagine that as we got 20 here, there's going to be sort of 4 occurrences of 3, 4 occurrences of 1, 4 occurrences of 2, and so on. Like it would actually be random. But I'm pretty confident this thing's actually working. So that's it for the random thing. What I'm going to do in my next step is bring us closer to the little problem that we actually have going for the next, I guess, for our next little detour.